So, to preface what we're doing, this is our rudder for Bombadil, and it was designed at the time to minimize surface area in underwater. So the underwater surface area, which then equates to drag as the boat is traversing through the area. So it was a fairly, probably what would be considered a small rudder these days. And it was designed so that lower wind, you have less drag, and with less drag you can go faster. So that was the part of the premise of the rigging at the time, and that was why it was designed. Bruce King, the designer, also designed a new rudder which was a little bit bigger. I found on the Ericsson Yachts website, I found someone that had posted a picture, and this was kind of a similar shape. It's also closer to what modern rudders are shaped as from an efficiency standpoint. So we extended the rudder. It's about 12 inches deeper. And then there's also, probably from here to here, is actually a little bit more area in front of the center of the rudder shaft, which will actually help balance it a little bit better. So overall it got bigger. It's a little bit more balanced, but there's also more area, so it should even out from pressure on the helm, since that wasn't too bad. From my understanding of what this will do for the performance of the boat is by putting like this extra area in, it actually puts the rudder inside the prop wash, and so then at harbor maneuverings, when you turn, you actually then push water with the rudder, and it helps turn tighter. From a backing up perspective, the extra depth and surface area helps a lot. And then, all hearsay from reading, it's also helps with the weather helm in heavy weather sailing to have a little bit extra area. So we did that. The other thing that we had done is, so the pintle in here, which is what the whole rudder sits on and spins on, there's also a bronze plate that's bolted on, and that's the gudgeon. And so there was some play in it because the stainless steel is higher than the bronze and it's worn out. So we had that machined and had a little Delrin insert put in. And so now the play in that system is minimal, or acceptable, I guess. And so when we reinstall it, the rudder itself should have less slop, and so it should turn nicer and have less wear. So for the rudder extension part, I did use, so it'd be underlayment foam, which is not advised for doing rudders at all, because the density isn't there. The foam in the actual like rudder existing part, so in this section, is super dense, and that way it just takes the load of the shaft and it doesn't distort or compress underneath the glass. But since this rudder extension part doesn't rely on the foam for the strength, it's all on the glass connection to it, we did use the underlayment, and there's I think 3 or 4 layers of 1708 glass, and they're connected in, and I plan on putting one more layer of 8-ounce glass over the entire thing, probably one half, and then flip it and do the other half to fully seal and create nice even lines for when I go to fair, sand and paint and all of that funness. The other advantage of redoing the rudder is I'm using epoxy, and so the epoxy will create a water barrier, so there should be less water ingress into the foam, and so it shouldn't have blisters or any other issues. And if all else fails, I'm out however much it costs to get a new rudder, which hopefully it all works well. But there's always a part of my brain that's like, well, what if you didn't build it right and it all comes falling apart? So I haven't had that happen yet, but there's always that little nagging voice in your head that says, well, you might have messed something up. So that's what we did. I would not recommend building a rudder out of underlayment foam, as it's not dense enough. I don't even know if I'd recommend extending a rudder with it. It was what I had at the time, and I've built some surfboards out of this foam and haven't had any issues with it. So, and that's the foam for the surfboards, and me like jumping on and off of them and weight has less stiffness than one layer of the 1708. So by adding, I think it was 4 layers, and then there's also a piece of Kevlar and carbon fiber strip in here to help with a little bit of extra like impact resistance and rigidity. Hope you enjoyed the process of watching us work on the rudder. There's still lots to be done yet. So this is the rudder after 2 coats of fairing, and I didn't record any of the fairing, mostly because my sister called while I was working on stuff, and instead of recording a video, I was talking to her. So I don't know if I'll need another coat or not. We'll have to see how this one turns out. The first one filled a lot of the major like low spots. I think I've got most of it all smoothed out. So hopefully tomorrow I'll come back through and I'll sand. Instead of using like a 6-inch power sander, I'll probably block sand all of this. That way it is a little bit smoother. And because it's a block sander, it'll have a little more surface area, so it won't take low spots any lower. And you'll watch it all happen in minutes, and it took hours. So as you can see, this is the third round of fairing compound, and so most of it is getting better. There's still a couple low spots, and so mostly what you see is the low spots that I filled in, and that is, this side is a little more obvious, so it had a little bit less like big low spots. Just trying to get it all nice and smooth. So I sanded it all with a block to even it out more than an orbital, because the orbital will still like rock around on the high spots, and so it's pretty close. I don't know if I'll ever get it perfect. I'm a perfectionist, but at the same time, my launch date is in, I think about 1 month from right now is when the boat's supposed to launch, and so feeling a little pressed for time. So I'll get it good, and it'll look nice, but I won't get it perfect, which is going to bother me a little bit. It'll be in the water all the time, and no one's probably going to see it, and no one will know except me. So I don't know why I'm stressing so much. So I skinned the entire thing, and it's more fiberglass with epoxy resin, so it should all be waterproof. And then we painted it with two layers of Total Boat, Total Protect barrier coat epoxy. And then I put a single coating of a product from Pelagic Marine, and so it is a modified epoxy that contains silicone in it, and the silicone creates a super slippery like boundary layer on the surface, which helps reduce the amount of marine growth on the rudder. So I've never used this product. I'm kind of excited to see how it does. So our bottom is currently painted with VC17, and then just the rudder will be painted with its Pelagic 910S. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it holds up after a year. It's supposed to be good for 5 to 7. If the coating works really well, we'll probably at some point redo the whole hull and coat it with this. That way there's no chemicals that we're leaching into the water. So yeah, this is the rudder. It's gotta it'll sit here for another day or two where it's a little bit warmer in the garage versus outside, just to fully like cure. It's dry to the touch. I think it needs probably a couple more days, and then we'll try to install it hopefully this weekend, probably Sunday, try to get it installed into the boat, which will be exciting because then our boat is ready to go back in the water from a mechanical standpoint. We still don't have the electric motor in, so it'll be hard to maneuver, but we can always use a dinghy or get towed to maneuver for the moment. But it is still a sailboat, so there'll be sails and a rudder, and I will be happy when this is done. Also, the rudder shaft is like 3-inch, and so we do have a 3-inch hole in our boat.
So what's the hole in
This
is there a pin somewhere?
is a quadrant.
Okay.
Just bolted on, and that's what actually steers it.
Where do you bolt that? You have to go into the top.
And that's where I'll have to be to hold all those bolts too.
So you want me to go up there right now to No.
Get ready to, at what point am I shortening? Remember, I'm slow on the ladder.
At some point. I think we're... Well, I think if you're... Are you able to fit? No.
You okay? Or?
We might be.
I think we got it. It's going to be hard to have more people.
Yeah, okay. I got mine.
Oh,
There
there you go.
What you got?
I think we're caught on the... There's a bearing inside.
Yeah. I hear you go up.
We need to go down there.
Let me get up, let me get on the other side.
What?
Good? Ready?
We're going up.
I don't know.
Let him guide it in there. Brand new or just?
He refinished it. He made it a little bit longer.
Okay. Yeah, they could all use a little more bite.
Yeah.
It needs to go just slightly aft.
We're against the hull down here.
Weird.
We have to do this way. Okay.
Is it tight up against there or no?
Is she watching that? Or?
No, it's like there's no clearance on the
Yeah.
stuffing box, so it's just...
You probably got a packing in there to boot.
We haven't even touched the packing.
Okay.
We're below that.
Okay. Why don't you go back up again?
I also can't see much. I don't want to get my fingers in the way.
No, I don't blame you.
So,
You got a mirror?
nope.
Small mirror?
Um,
Let's see. Could she take out this rope?
yeah, Heather, can you pull up on both ropes?
Yeah, tell me when.
Yep. Keep going.
What?
Go.
You got it wrapped.
Yep.
You got it wrapped around the winch.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a small rope to go this way. Just jump up. Okay, I got this.
Right now.
You if you've got them on a winch, put some pressure on them and bring it up.
Yeah.
Can you see down from the top?
What?
Can you see down from the top where it's lining up?
Can you see down the top though? Oh, alright.
Just start cranking up with your winches. Get some pressure on it and get us back where we belong. Try that. Tension your lines again quickly.
Tension the lines.
Tension the lines.
Give me 1 sec. Great. I just
Get them tight. Get them tight. You're still slack. Get them tight. Keep going. Get it tighter. Tighter. Now do the other one.
Do they still need to go more? Or?
Yes. Yes. Give me a little more. Okay. That feels good. See what you look in there and see if you can see if we're lining up.
Yep.
The rope is doing 90%, 99% of the work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got a beautiful boat.
Well, you're very kind. So do you.
This is theirs.
Any chance it can go up anymore?
There it is.
Yep. There you go. Yep.
Okay, now tension your ropes.
Yep, Tony.
Tension your ropes.
You got it.
And I get the day off.
Right.
You in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I gotta put sealant in there. So.
Yeah. If I like doing this, yeah, grab that yellow strap. There you go. Get up here, so right about here. There you go. Yep, go on there. Put it through here. Yeah, leave it there so you get tension on it. You're gonna want to probably go down here. So get the angle right. All right, now try that. All right, get this under here. You gotta get your fingers out of the way before you jam. You just pull that loop in your
Yep. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
I'm Philip. I'm Tucker.
Tucker, this is Phil.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You're on. Yeah, just about to the end. I had to redo the strut and some fiberglass work, which has been a real challenge in this cold weather.
Yep.
Yeah. Where are you guys sleeping? Are you staying on board?
We are at Aldine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Erickson, right?
Yeah, and Erickson 39.
39. Okay.
So we added a foot to the rudder.
Good for you. Yeah.
So all the research I did said it was too small, and so
They're all too small, son. There's a secret to that's called reefing. You're reefing your main, okay?
yeah.
Use your reef points. That's what they're there for. Well, you'll find it's a whole different boat.
Yeah, we have the Hunter 30
Yeah.
that we've got for sale right now, and yeah, we've only sailed on this one when we brought it back from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And it was so different.
Yeah.
So different. Came like 1 knot behind us and like 4 to 6 foot waves the whole time.
Yeah.
And it just ate it right up.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
That's what they're made for.
Yes.
But if you're overpowered with your rudder, put a reef in the main.
Yep.
Okay, a reef or two. Really?
It's better for me.
You'd be surprised. You will maintain your speed. In fact, you'll probably go faster because you're not heeling over. You get in excess of 20 degrees, you're dumping air. Okay?
There's no worries. She hates heeling over, so
Oh,
there's no
oh.
worries about reefing.
He'd be on his butt to reef. Life is so much more comfortable with the reefing.